So, um, right now, millions of people around the world are probably sitting in classrooms, looking at textbooks and memorizing the exact same English sentence.
Yeah, the classic script.
Right. Someone asks, "How are you?" And they learn to reply, "I am fine, thank you, and you."
Oh, yeah.
And yet, if you step out onto the streets of like London or New York or Sydney today, you will almost never hear a native speaker actually use that complete sentence.
No, never. I mean, it is kind of the ultimate language learning paradox, isn't it?
It really is.
The phrases that feel the safest, the
Yeah.
ones printed in bold in every single beginner guide,
Right.
they're often the ones that sound the most robotic in the real world.
Exactly. We spend so much time trying to learn the correct math equation for a conversation, like input, output.
Yeah.
But human interaction isn't math. So today we are going to decode the actual art of English small talk. And, this deep dive is designed specifically for you, the English learner. We are extracting the most natural phrases, the hidden social rules, and the common traps you need to avoid so you can sound confident and friendly in your everyday life.
And, the most important concept to grasp before we even look at vocabulary,
Okay, what is it?
well, it's that small talk is not an exam.
Right.
It's really not about having flawless grammar. I mean, native speakers make grammatical errors all the time in casual speech.
Constantly.
Yeah. Small talk is simply a tool to reduce social friction. It's just a quick, friendly way to acknowledge another person, show polite interest, and, build a tiny bridge of connection.
I think that immediately takes a lot of the pressure off.
Definitely.
You aren't being graded, you're just connecting. So let's tackle the biggest hurdle first.
The universal greeting.
Yes. Someone walks up to you and says, "How are you?"
Right.
We know that "I am fine, thank you," and "you" is the default. But honestly, every time I hear it, it makes me think of a mobile phone's default ringtone.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it functions, right?
And
Alerts you to a call,
Hmm.
but it completely lacks any personality.
Exactly. Because everyone memorizes it, it kind of signals to the other person that you're reciting a script rather than having a genuine interaction.
Yeah.
So if we want to move away from that script, we have to look at what native speakers actually say. And the most common alternative is incredibly simple. It's just, "I'm good."
Short and sweet.
Mm.
I'm good.
Yeah.
But you can also adjust the temperature of that answer.
Right.
Like you can add a little nuance by saying, "I'm pretty good."
Oh, pretty good is a brilliant phrase for daily life.
Right.
It basically means you're doing well, but your day is just normal. It isn't amazing and it isn't terrible.
Just a solid average day.
Exactly.
Uh.
Other natural options are not bad or "I'm doing well." And, we should note that you do not always have to pretend to be full of energy.
Oh, thank goodness.
Right. It is perfectly acceptable and completely natural to say, "I'm a little tired today."
There's a really fascinating layer of social psychology behind phrases like "pretty good" or "not bad." It isn't just about describing your mood. It's actually about managing the energy of the conversation.
Precisely. Yeah. Because when you say "not bad," you are intentionally being humble. It's a very low-pressure response.
Right.
Think about it. If someone asks how you are and you shout, "I am having the greatest day of my entire life,"
That's a lot.
it is. You suddenly force the other person to match that intense energy. And that can be exhausting.
Totally.
So "not bad" is soft. It gently leaves the door open for the other person to share how they are feeling without feeling overwhelmed by your enthusiasm.
That's a comfortable baseline.
Exactly.
Now, before we answer, we also have to initiate the greeting.
Mm-hmm.
And the formality changes depending on who we're talking to, right?
Okay.
We have the standard time-based greetings like good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
Right. The safe ones.
Yeah. Then we have hello and hi. But the one that always trips people up is the very casual, "Hey, how's it going?"
Ah, yeah. How's it going? Is such an essential piece of everyday vocabulary. It essentially asks, how is your life moving along today? Or how is your current situation?
Right.
But you do have to be a bit careful with the word "hey."
See, this is where I think context is everything. Because if I'm walking into the office and I see my manager, or, if a student runs into a strict professor in the hallway, "Hey," feels a bit too risky.
Yeah, it does.
It feels like I'm treating my boss like my weekend drinking buddy.
You're interpreting that social dynamic exactly right. "Hey" implies a level of familiarity and closeness.
Okay.
You use it with friends, peers, or people you know very well. If you use it with a buck, it might come across as slightly disrespectful.
Right. A bit too casual.
Exactly. Sticking to hello or good morning in professional or formal settings is always the safest strategy. You maintain respect while still being friendly.
Okay, so we have the greeting down. We say hello. They ask, how are you? And we reply with a comfortable, I'm pretty good.
Perfect.
But if we stop there, we crash right into the most painful part of learning any new language.
Whoa, the awkward silence.
The awkward silence. It's brutal.
We have all been there. The greeting is finished. You say, I'm good. And then,
Dead air.
yeah, the air just goes dead. You both just stare at each other, wondering who is supposed to speak next.
It is physical torture.
It really is.
So, to avoid that silence, we have to recognize that I'm good is not a complete conversational turn. It's just the start.
Right.
To keep things moving, you have to add what I like to call conversational fuel. You need to provide one or two extra details.
Exactly. So instead of just stopping at I'm good, you attach a small fact to the end of it.
Give me an example.
Sure. For example, I'm good, thanks. I just had a really nice coffee. Or, it's going well. I finished my morning meetings, and now I'm just catching up on emails.
Providing that detail gives the other person something to work with.
It's like,
You know, I always picture this process like a game of catch with a baseball.
oh, I like that.
Yeah, like if someone throws you the ball by asking, how are you? And you just say, good, you caught the ball, but you just held on to it.
Yeah.
You put it in your pocket. The game is instantly over. Adding a detail is like getting ready to throw the ball back. But to actually throw it, you need to use follow-up questions.
Follow-up questions are the engine of small talk.
Yeah.
Once you give your short answer and your tiny detail, you turn the focus back to them. You might ask, how is your day going? Or what are you up to today?
Or do you have any plans for the afternoon?
Exactly.
And I think the best follow-up questions are specific to what the other person just told you.
Oh, definitely.
Like if they say, I'm a little tired today, you don't just say, oh, okay, how about you? You tailor the throw. You ask, why are you tired? Did you have to work late last night? Or if they say they're busy, you ask, what big project are you working on?
Linguistically, this is how you demonstrate active listening. But on a deeper level, follow-up questions are an incredibly powerful tool for empathy. When you ask a specific question based on the information they just gave you, you prove that you actually care about their reality.
Right, you're engaged.
Exactly. You are signaling that you aren't just waiting in silence for your own turn to speak again.
It validates them because, people love to feel heard.
They do.
There is a common trap here for learners, though. Because thinking of new questions is really hard on the spot, a lot of beginners rely on a single phrase. How about you?
Yes. The classic, how about you?
Right.
And look, it's a perfectly valid phrase, but relying on it too heavily creates a new kind of robotic rhythm.
Yeah.
You say, how about you, 4 or 5 times in a 3-minute chat. It sounds like an interrogation technique rather than a natural chat.
It gets repetitive fast. So you have to shuffle the deck. You can use, how about you? But mix in, what about you?
Yeah.
Or simply, and you.
Yeah.
Or better yet, use those specific questions we just talked about.
Because variety makes the language feel alive.
Absolutely. So we know how to keep the ball in the air. But we need to adapt our vocabulary to the environment we're standing in, right? Context dictates the content of small talk.
Very true.
Most of our daily interactions happen in 2 main places, at work or school. When discussing how we feel physically or mentally, let's look at the professional setting first.
Okay. In an office or an academic environment, small talk operates on a slightly different frequency.
Oh, cool.
It's usually brief. People are in the middle of tasks. You don't need to unpack your childhood trauma by the water cooler.
Hey, please don't.
Exactly. You just need practical, professional building blocks.
Though if someone asks what you're up to at work, the phrases are very functional. I have a meeting soon. I have a report to finish. I just need to answer some emails.
Exactly. And if you are a student, the focus is naturally on the shared experience of the class. You might ask, did you finish the homework for today? And you can easily attach a specific follow-up question to that. Which part of the reading did you find difficult?
Those are safe, reliable structures.
Yeah.
But inevitably, small talk shifts to our internal state. We talk about our feelings. And in English, the fundamental pattern for this is I feel plus an adjective. Like I feel happy, I feel relaxed, I feel nervous, or I feel hungry.
And this is a critical junction for beginners because talking about feelings is where a few very specific grammatical errors tend to happen.
Okay, Lay them out for us.
The first is dropping the verb entirely. Many learners will just say, I'm very tired.
Ah, the missing link.
Yes, you absolutely need the am, I am very tired, or the contraction, I'm very tired.
Right. Was the second error.
The second common error is using the verb to have instead of to be. A learner might say, I have busy, or I have hungry.
Oh, because that's how it translates from their native language.
Exactly, like in Spanish or French where you technically have hunger.
But in English, you don't possess the adjective. You embody it.
Mm-hmm.
So it must be, I am busy.
Right.
If you really want to use the word have, you have to attach it to a noun. Like you can say, I have a busy day.
Perfect. Which brings us to the most infamous mistake of all.
Oh, boy.
It involves adjectives that describe feelings, specifically the difference between words ending in ed and words ending in ing.
Okay.
The classic example is bored versus boring.
Oh, this one is so important.
Right.
Because the mistake completely changes your identity in the conversation.
It really does.
Let's say I'm at a social event, right? I don't know anyone, there's no music, and I have nothing to do. I want to express this feeling. But wait, so if I accidentally say, I am boring at a party,
Yeah.
am I basically telling everyone that I'm a terrible person to talk to and they should run away?
I mean, essentially, yes.
Oh, no.
You are accidentally insulting your own personality. You're telling them you are a fundamentally uninteresting human being.
It's a painful mistake.
It is. But understanding the mechanism behind it fixes it permanently.
Okay, let me break it down.
When an adjective ends in ed, like bored, tired, or interested, it means the feeling is happening to you. You are receiving the action. The environment is causing you to feel bored.
So the feeling is internal.
Exactly. But when an adjective ends in ing, like boring, tiring, or interesting, it means you are producing the action. You are radiating that quality out into the world.
Oh, I see.
A movie can be boring because it produces boredom in the audience. A long flight can be tiring.
So I say I am boring. I am declaring that I produce boredom in other people.
Yes.
Wow.
The same goes for terrified versus terrifying.
Right.
If you see a bear, you are terrified. The feeling happened to you. But the bear is terrifying because it is producing the terror.
That distinction makes so much sense when you look at the mechanics of the suffixes.
It does.
Receive the feeling with ed, produce the feeling with ing. Okay, so we've successfully navigated our current feelings and we've talked about our current workday, but eventually you run out of things to say about the present moment. The conversation naturally runs out of runway. To prevent it from crashing, you have to shift the timeline.
You have to look forward.
Yes.
This is the natural evolution of small talk. As the interaction winds down, you transition by asking about the future.
Making plans. Like the standard questions are, what are you doing after work?
Yeah.
Or do you have any plans for the weekend?
Exactly.
And what I think is a huge relief for learners is that your answer doesn't need to be spectacular. You don't need to be like climbing a mountain.
Oh, not at all. The mundane, everyday activities are actually perfect for this.
Yeah.
Saying, I'm just going to the supermarket to grab some groceries, or I'm meeting a friend for a quick dinner. That provides a complete, satisfying answer. Small talk thrives on the ordinary.
It really does. But there is a specific word we need to highlight for this phase of the conversation. When talking about the future, the word might is incredibly useful. M-I-G-H-T.
Oh, might is a beginner's best friend. It is a modal verb that simply means maybe or it is possible.
For example, I might stay home and relax this weekend. Or I might watch that new movie on TV.
Right.
The reason this word is so powerful is that it completely removes the pressure of commitment.
It totally does, because when someone asks about your weekend on a Wednesday, you probably don't have a strict schedule yet.
Right. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Exactly. If you feel forced to give a definite answer, you might freeze up. Using might takes away that stress. It gives the other person a solid response to keep the conversation flowing, but it requires very low commitment from you.
It's the perfect escape hatch.
Mhm.
Like, I might do laundry. It sounds like a structured plan, but if Sunday rolls around and I don't do my laundry, I didn't break a promise.
Exactly. It is just a possibility.
So great. Now, we've talked extensively about the questions you ask and the answers you give. But there is a third pillar of small talk that holds the entire structure together.
Yes, there is.
Because you can't just operate like a tennis ball machine, firing questions and answers back and forth. You have to react.
Polite reactions are the conversational glue.
Mm-hmm.
If you just ask questions and stare blankly while they answer, the interaction feels clinical. Reactions show that you are not just hearing the words, but you are actually processing the emotion behind them.
I always think of these verbal reactions as the nodding of the audio world.
Oh, I love that.
Like when you listen to someone face to face, you nod your head to show you're engaged. Polite reactions do exactly the same thing, but with vocabulary.
Exactly.
Let's run through a few common scenarios. If a coworker mentions they are taking a really difficult certification test this afternoon, I wouldn't just say, okay,
No, that would be cold.
right? I would naturally say, oh, good luck.
Yeah. That small phrase acknowledges their stress and offers support.
What if a classmate says they're driving down to the beach with their family for the weekend? I would want to validate their excitement, so I'd say, that sounds fun. Or, that sounds really nice.
Notice the phrasing there, too. That sounds is a wonderful template.
It is.
It shows you are interpreting their plan. If a colleague tells you they have 3 back-to-back meetings and a giant budget report to finish, you use that same template to show empathy for their workload.
That sounds incredibly busy.
Right. It makes them feel seen.
And this is especially important when things aren't going well. If someone tells me they have a headache or they caught a cold, I need to show sympathy. The standard polite reaction is, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better soon.
Yes. These short phrases don't take a lot of linguistic effort to learn, but they fundamentally change the tone of your English.
They really do.
Without them, you sound like you are just exchanging data. With them, you sound empathetic, kind, and fluent in the subtle social rhythms of the language.
It's less about vocabulary and more about human connection.
Absolutely.
And that really brings us back to our core mission for this deep dive. Mastering English small talk isn't about perfectly reciting a textbook formula.
No, it's not.
It's about abandoning the robotic, I am fine, thank you, and replacing it with natural, low-pressure phrases like, I'm pretty good.
Right. And it's about keeping the conversation alive by adding a small detail and throwing the ball back with specific follow-up questions.
Yes. It's about understanding the difference between feeling bored and being boring.
Oh, yes. Please remember the ED versus ING rule.
It'll save you at parties. And finally, it is about using the word might to reduce pressure and offering polite reactions to prove that you are genuinely listening.
To everyone listening and learning, building this habit takes time.
It really does.
The first few times you step away from your memorized textbook answers, it will feel uncomfortable.
Yeah?
But every single conversation is a chance to practice. You will make mistakes, and that is perfectly fine. Leaving the script behind is the only way to truly sound like yourself in a new language.
The awkwardness is just the price of admission for genuine connection.
Well said.
We want to leave you with a final thought to reflect on as you go about your week. Think back to that default ringtone we discussed at the very beginning.
Right.
The next time someone walks up to you and asks, how are you? Instead of going on autopilot and just saying, fine. What is one small, genuine detail about your day that you could share?
A fantastic challenge.
Find that one detail and use it to transform a routine, boring greeting into a real human moment.
Keep practicing and don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Keep throwing the conversational ball back and keep stepping outside the textbook.